Okay, at 6 o'clock, we're going to bring our November 24th City Council meeting to order, and we'll call for roll call, please.
Sarchet?
Here.
Savage?
Here.
Walters?
Here.
Vogel?
Here.
Otis?
Here. Item 3, approval of agenda. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second. And roll call.
Savage?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Item number 4, public comments. This is the time and place for comments for any item other than those that are a public hearing. I see that we have a card here from Roxana Curry. Roxana, you want to come and identify yourself and then make your statement, please?
I'm Roxana Curry. I'm here because I'm president of the Big Creek Historical Society. Can you hear me?
I think it's better now that you moved over, yeah.
Okay. We've got tons of positive comments about the building being painted. I hope that you have too. The community is very, very excited about that. I see on the agenda that we're going to talk about tearing off the north lean-to. And I mentioned to Mike earlier that I'd be glad to write grants for that. Not for your part of it, of course I can't, but for restoring the north wall of our museum building. I just wanted to make you aware of a few things. I don't know if it's really appropriate for here, but I'm like, everybody's in the same room. I think this is maybe the time to say it. I don't know if you know, but grants kind of run in a cycle. So the season for grants is from January through May, generally speaking. So if I'm going to write a grant for any restoration work on that wall, I just wanted to let you know I would need like concrete facts about that, probably by March 1st. And if I can't, if you don't have a bid let by then or something like that, then I would probably need to wait for the next cycle of grants to do that. Another thing about grants is I'd probably like to apply for the State Historical Society grant. And one of the qualifications for that is that you have a certified historic preservationist on board. We actually have a historic preservationist on staff, not on contract, but she was not consulted at all on the painting of the building. So I just wanted to communicate about that. If you have somebody else that you use, that would be great. But if I do this grant for the State Historical Society, I have to have paperwork for them, and I have to show the state their credentials. So that was a big thing. And just mentioning that also, the invoice that we got mentioned that there was some millwork that was done. There was some things that were replaced. Those are things that we should really have documentation about who did that work and what materials were used, because that becomes part of the history of the building, because we're dealing with a historic building, so down the road, people want to know, well, if I change that window, is that a historic window, or is that one that they changed already, or, those kind of things. Seems like there was one other thing. I think that was about it, but I do want to hope for better communication, and I hate to say that because our communication between the Historical Society and the city is 1,000% better than it was 2 years ago, and some of you out there know what this huge gap there was in our understanding of the city's process, your understanding of our processes. It seems like the system's a little bit complicated for, I get information from who I'm writing a grant for. They contact me, and it has something to do with us leasing the building, you owning the building. But, I need to get that information to Chelsea or from Chelsea. Chelsea needs to get it to or from somebody. This is just a very complicated system. So when we do the north wall, I just wonder if it'd be possible to set up some kind of a committee or meeting that would happen to keep everybody on the same page at the same time. I think that was it. I really appreciate, we really appreciate the way the building looks. And JC from Grace Jory is putting up Christmas decorations as we speak, so we're very excited to have the building look so super. And thank you for the money that you put into it. Again.
Thank you, Roxana. I think Chelsea is more than happy to interact with you on that scheduling or any information that you need to know. So I would encourage you to have just a good flow of communication with her, and I think she'd appreciate that as well. So thanks for your comment, and thanks for writing grants.
Yeah, we can address more of that when we get to the business item about the work on the schoolhouse too.
All right, so we're going to move on to item number 5, which is consent items. I'll ask for a motion and a second.
Second.
And roll call.
Vogel?
Yes.
Otis? Yes. Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Item number 6, business items. A, second reading 2025-1100, amending Chapter 91, water meters, Section 91.05, meter setting. I'll ask for a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any comment? Roll call.
Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Vogel?
Moving on to item 6B, second reading 2025-1200, amending Chapter 135, street use and maintenance, Section 135.13, fine for placing debris on or dumping of snow. Ask for a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any comment? Roll call.
Vogel?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Moving on to item number C, second reading 2025-1300, public hearing for vacating city-owned property located near East North Side Drive. Motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any comment? Roll call.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Item D, Big Creek Schoolhouse, former City Hall demolition and plating project. Mike and Chelsea? Mike first, it looks like.
I can go first. So the Public Works Department was tasked with looking at removing that structure that we're talking about, the lean-to structures, kind of what everybody knows it as, the old offices, that type of thing. So it's only on the police drive side of things. It's just that one structure. It's not the structure that's towards this new city hall. That's not included in this project. So when we were looking at it, we got in there, we looked at how it was connected to the building. And at that point, we decided that Public Works could probably do this removal. It's attached at the roof line and on the sides, but then it's kind of a self-sustaining structure. They took the position that they didn't want to really get into that building if they didn't have to, into the structure of that building. So they really did a good job at keeping it almost two structures except where they're attached. So we believe we can do that. We can do that very well. We can remove the concrete that's underneath as the flooring. We can see that it is actually separated from the old foundation as well. That should be removed. We did investigation of water and sewer to make sure we weren't going to complicate things and how they were laid out, which that should be pretty good. There's one situation with the water that we have to figure out where it comes out of the old structure and into that structure. We're going to look at taking care of that tomorrow, to be honest. We've already cut that line so it won't freeze in there is what we're trying to do. There's still a little bit of a problem, but so we looked into that issue as well. There will be some work to square when that comes off, then the deck would actually come out a little bit on that section that's in front of there. We would be removing that deck section as well and regrading that whole place back to just grass at this point in time until you folks figured out what you want to do with that area. It would drain off onto the section of asphalt that we're talking about as the police drive that's in there. So at this point, we're looking at doing that. If you folks would want to move forward on that, we would maintain the contractors. There's going to be HVAC that has to be removed and put back. The electrical will have to be removed from that structure and then relocated into the new building as well. But we would manage all those contractors. Also, some of the flooring has to come out. That little square in the bathroom has asbestos in the flooring, linoleum, which is normal. That's about anything in the 70s or early 80s, that would be normal. But that's all remedied, and they will be here to take that out. It needs to be removed anyway. We're taking it out tomorrow. That contractor's going to be here. We feel that we can get that removed. We got a subcontractor in there to look at what he could look at. As far as the siding placement back on that wall on the existing structure. The windows, we couldn't see all the windows, so we will have to remove the whole structure first before we can give you a complete idea of what is back behind there. Anyway, that is really what the Public Works is going to try to do, and we just need to get to a point where we say this is what we want to do. We can set out some timelines at that point. We were hoping to get moving on this. Now, we don't know what that timeline is, but we can all discuss that as well. But we were looking at going here as soon as the site planning situation that Chelsea's going to talk about, as soon as that was completed. There's some small things we can do inside, like removing the air units, those type of things. We could do that before that. But as far as the timeline, I'm not sure anymore. But we were wanting to get going this winter. That's when we felt we had the time to do it. And I think we can do it very well in that time frame. So, Chelsea, would you like to talk about the site planning side of it?
Yes, so for tonight's meeting, we've put two separate items on the agenda. In reviewing the city's site plan code, there's no site plan on file for this property. We would ask that someone doing a demolition to a similar building in Polk City, they do a site plan. So we've asked Snyder and Associates to prepare a professional services agreement to do a site plan and do some platting work for the property as well. So that you all know, this is one parcel of property, which includes the fire station, the police station, Old City Hall, and then this area that we're talking about demoing the building. We would separate this into 3 separate parcels as discussed by the council. And you've expressed a desire to possibly sell a parcel someday. So this would be the time to do it. So the first step really for tonight, you need to consider a professional services agreement with Snyder to do a site plan or to prepare a site plan and a plat of survey. And then the second item would be to approve the demolition project of the north addition, not to exceed $57,000. We, based off of our estimates not including the professional services agreement are closer to $42,000. So we're asking for you to approve not to exceed $57,000. This would give us a little bit of wiggle room should we come across some issues that we were not anticipating with the building.
It's not to exceed 70,000. Was that the number? I believe.
It is not to exceed 70,000.
Yep.
And the professional services agreement is included in that.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
68.5.
68.5. We were at 70 and we came down to 68.5. Sorry, Mike.
Okay, no, you're good.
It's what's on the agenda.
It's what's on the
Okay.
agenda.
So Roxanne, to your question, like we do have $20,000 of that, whatever total amount it is, for restoration of the that one side of the building. It's a local contractor, but I'm all for having them partner with you guys to make sure that you've got the documentation that you need. It looks the way you want it. It's like, I see you guys as the stewards of this land, even though it's city-owned property, like Chelsea said, same as the fire department and all that surrounding area. So, and I would also agree with your point that you guys have stepped up in your communication and appetite to do work, and would like to, cast my vote for reciprocating. I know we had a council liaison in the past. I don't know why it went away, but that could be a good option. It doesn't have to be that, it can be whatever, but, would very much like to partner. I'm glad that Mike's team can coordinate this and we're not reliant upon someone from the outside totally, and where we do have specialized pieces, it's more of the local variety. So I'm 100% on board with the step that we have tonight and partnering with you guys, as long as you're good with everything. I know there's pieces you haven't seen, so I'm not looking for a yes now, but if we commit to communicate and involve you in these steps, I also see this, not to get too far ahead of things, but, is there interest in, demolition elsewhere to be able to restore that building, the schoolhouse, as it originally was, so the council chambers, or is there another purpose for that? And then the area that we're creating now with the old lean-to footprint, could that be something else, and what would that look like? So, I'd love to partner with you guys on what that could be, and including, minimal things like maybe we put picnic tables or something over there to use it to more, more money and something grander, and everything in between, at least in terms of discussion. So I don't know if you guys have thought about any of that before, but would love to have future discussions about this being a progression.
So that's a conversation for another meeting though, right?
And to address a bit of your grant writing stuff, it sounds like, Mike, you want to go ahead and get this done over this winter, which would kind of throw off your grant writing cycle unless we held off on those actual restorations until you've had a chance to write in the spring or early winter, whenever that cycle actually opens up for you. But again, it sounds like you want to move forward with this pretty quickly.
Whether this matters or not, the Public Works Department is going to save the city quite some money, funds on this one, doing it ourselves, right? Because if you start involving a contractor, it's gonna, I'd hate to say double the project. I think that's probably where it would be. I don't know, maybe more, but I'm gonna say safely 50% more. So that's where the big savings was coming in, and I just don't know how much we can commit to a later schedule. It's worth talking about, I suppose, but I would really like to stay on the schedule, and see what we have back there. Because I think we might even need that information before we write the grants too, to see what's there. Right.
Well, and that's where some of these future discussions, as you become relevant tonight, if we can do this work now, and you can come up with a plan for some of these other next steps and write grants for those, let's do it.
Any other questions of Mike, council, Mandy?
Satisfy my curiosity here. Is it just the offices, or does that conference room in the back come off too? Where's the break line on there? I'm having an issue with the footprint.
So that conference room, I think I know what you're talking about. That's that whole long structure, so the
hallway
conference room.
that we used as a conference.
Right, but does that come off
The
as part of
gathering
this?
area.
Does the new door stop where the office was, where the big
Step
step
down.
down is, or does it step?
That step down would be now the side of the new wall.
Step down would be
So it
outside.
includes that area.
So yes, the conference room, then the conference hallway would be gone.
Come off, correct.
But to that theme, like, it is hard to envision what's this gonna look like without that there. And so that's where I kinda wanna plant the seeds of, we can do other stuff. I don't know what that is necessarily, and open to suggestions, but.
Yeah.
I guess my only other comment too, real quick, is we will be using the same individual to repair the wall, correct? That did the other updates to the structure? The painting and all that?
That's the same contractor, correct?
Okay, so it's gonna be the same contractor.
So I didn't have the answer to this question, Chelsea. I talked to Chelsea this afternoon. But all of the hanging air conditioners all come down, right? And there's some question about where they could be located, either in that section or behind the building, yet to be determined.
That is something, so the price we have is to put them right outside where the furnaces are. So they would come off, and when they went back in, they'd go right back in the same place, but on the ground. So from the roof to the ground. That's what the price is for. If we wanted to, there is an option that you could probably go over there, but you'd have to run lines on the outside of the building back in. So you would have a couple of set lines, is what they call it, to the air conditioner, to the condenser, to the air conditioner, air coil inside the building. So you either put them right there where that is, so it's just inside, or you'd have to go to the back, like you say. There's not really a lot of room there. There's a sidewalk, and I don't think we could get it pushed up against the building without having some of it go into the sidewalk. So I'm not sure that's the greatest scenario to put them back there, but you don't want to put them in front of the building either. That's your other option, right? So, but I suppose you could move them closer to the police station, but not go around the corner. You could probably do that as well, to try to save this space in the middle. But you would have two line sets coming across the building at some point to go back into the furnaces that are approximately in the middle of that building.
Are there 4 of those?
There are 3, and one of them is for the addition itself. So 3 will come off, 2 will go back on.
Oh, okay.
Line sets, they're copper tubing, pencil thick? What are we talking about?
You'll want to protect them with insulation, the tube insulation. So you're going to be talking about, a 2 to 2 inch piece. I don't know if there's a way to disguise that a little bit. I'd have to talk to the HVAC contractor, but you would have something like that going across the side of the building, yeah.
Anything else of Mike? Anything of Chelsea? Okay, we'll move on then. Thank you, Mike.
Yes.
To item D1, which is approved professional services agreement with Snyder and Associates not to exceed $11,500. I'll ask for a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second?
Any comment from council? Roll call.
Savage,
Yes.
Walters,
Abstain.
Vogel,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Item D2, approved demolition project of North Addition not to exceed $57,000. Ask for a motion and a second.
So move.
Second?
Any comment? Roll call.
Vogel,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Moving on then to item 6E, resolution authorizing and approving a loan and disbursement agreement and providing for the issuance and securing the payment of $1,730,000 water revenue bonds, Series 2025B. Chelsea has a report.
In front of the city council this evening is a resolution to authorize and approve a water revenue loan and disbursement agreement through the state revolving fund, also known as SRF. In the same resolution, the city council is going to provide for the issuance of the loan as well as the repayment of the loan through the water revenue fund. So you are authorizing the loan and that you will repay back that loan with water revenues, and your water rates will be reflective of making those payments. The total amount of the water revenue loan is for $1,730,000. This is a requirement of the city's 28E agreement with Central Iowa Water Works. As outlined in the 28E agreement, you can see that Polk City's participating buy-in costs were $1,681,000. And then we're also accounting for the cost of issuance with this loan as well. The SRF loan interest rate right now is 3.01%. And I would be happy to answer any questions on this matter tonight.
Council?
Does this number reflect the rate increases as outlined by PFM and what they've come up with us for the last couple of years?
Yes.
So
Yes.
nothing new, nothing above and beyond.
No.
Okay.
Anyone else? I will ask for a motion and a second then to approve 6E.
So moved?
Second?
Roll call?
Savage,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Moving on to item number 7, reports and particulars. We'll begin with the city manager. Well, let's begin with staff. Anything? City manager?
I don't have anything. Thank you.
How about from council?
I would just emphasize item number S from the consent agenda, the citywide cleanup date of April 9th and April 10th.
Okay,
Put in a little plug for Light Up Polk City that we've got coming up here on the 5th.
okay.
Please come out, everyone.
Anything else?
And I just, again, thank you, Big Creek Historical Society, for coming, for partnering, for offering to write grants, for the efforts that you guys have put forth to bringing that schoolhouse, and helping improve the condition. I know we worked together, talked with Bravo, we were able to get a Bravo grant, so I know you guys have really stepped things up, and the communication on both sides, I think, has been great, so I look forward to seeing the future there. And again, it's really exciting to see how it's come along, and to have a local contractor that has taken a lot of pride in doing that work too. Again, I think there's more opportunity, but thank you guys for your effort and your partnership.
Okay, and I don't have anything, so we'll move on to item number 8, which is adjournment. A motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned until December 8th. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Susan.
Thank you. Have a good night.